It feels like all the Hassan Piker orbiters are just really stupid, and out of all of them, Frogan is the one that is just really stupid when it comes to her lawsuit and how she tries to hide from it. In my last video, I talked about how Frogan went into McDonald's. No, sorry, I got that wrong. I mean, how she went into default on a lawsuit with Ethan Klein, which means that he would win his case, mainly because she's as lazy as shit and doesn't want to do the work, which shows as she doesn't know what went on. And when you think about it, when you're being sued, you think that you would have everything sorted, get everything together, even if you went over it multiple times. You would generally have everything together, like 100%. So you could literally submit it bang on time or before, like pretty much anything else. And what is crazy in all these videos we're going to watch, she has an image up, like it looks like she's just done some work, like she's actually put effort in rather than just kind of hide behind the sofa. So it basically shows that she is talking at times, how she sped up certain parts of the content nuke that Ethan put out, and as well as like little things, but it generally is way too late in my eyes. What's really funny in this is it feels like she's been told that she has homework to do, but by the time she has to hand it in, she doesn't and is told that she's failed, and then she suddenly produces the work like a couple weeks later and goes, hey, can I still get that grade that I was meant to do for this work? And the teacher just literally just face palms.
I'm curious how you can cook on a default judgment. I can cook, but also like, obviously I'm not going to say what's happening. But anyways, the whole point is they have to prove damages. Damages have to be proven. This is federal court. And one last thing on this, guys. This is the amount of commentary I did during the content nuke. The yellow is normal speed, green is 1.5 speed, and blue is 1.75 speed. Okay. And if I remember correctly, I had the video paused 52% of the time. And the average length of unpaused playing was 23.3 seconds. And if Ethan said that my lawyer wasn't responsive, he's a fucking liar because he knows our lawyers have been talking. He knows our lawyers have been talking since the end of July of last year. Lawyers talking and official court docs filed are two different things. Yes. So exactly. Nobody knows what the fuck has been happening besides our lawyers. All filed court docs for the case are public. Exactly. So imagine how much we were talking in private is what I'm getting at.
This generally made me laugh, and I want to call her out for her bullshit, because if the lawyers have been talking to each other, then you would imagine that they would have known the date that you had to submit absolutely everything. So I don't get why she would be saying that they're still talking about everything when everything is pretty much done. The tone in her voice comes off like she's one of those customers that thinks that they are always in the right all the time and treats you like shit. And then when she gets schooled, she's like, oh, I didn't mean it. Like just then I could picture her saying it in my head. It's like watching one of those Darmin videos where someone is on a plane, in a park, in a restaurant, or just some random place, and they treat one person so badly it just pisses you off. But that person who's treating that other person badly is thinking that they're going to get away with something, or that people are going to be on their side, or the police are going to arrest them, or whatever. But it turns out to be the same thing over and over and over again, where that person they're having a go at will have a son, daughter, mother, father, partner, best friend that is a CEO, their boss, a parent, a partner, a chief police officer, or whatever. And then they get fired, kicked out, dumped, literally everything. And it's just always the same fucking outcome. I just think that she says this to try and make people look stupid, or that they don't know, when clearly she doesn't understand what's happening. As if you have lost by default, then there's something there. And we've seen them in the court documents talking about all of this. So I don't get how she can be like, no one knows. We're still talking. You've missed things out. Like, it's just so weird. She's not being transparent whatsoever. Also, I would imagine that if she's saying like, oh, no one knows the amount of damage that they've done or how much earnings that they've lost from this, I reckon that they will be able to find out due to her actions and stuff. In a lawsuit, I would think that all the data would be there. And also, what is she saying as well? I'm under the impression she thinks that she's going to win. And if she does, and the courts rule in her favor, then that's absolutely fine. But she's going to be horrible about it, make tons and tons of videos, or at least make so many jabs at Ethan, it's just going to be cringe as fuck. I can literally see it all now.
No wonder one of them mentioned 180. I was like, 180? I was like, my student loans? I was like, what? $180? I could go to the iDubbbz route. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not apologizing for shit. I'm not apologizing for jack shit. I'd rather peel my toenails off one by one and pluck every single hair follicle I have than apologize to Ethan. I have nothing to apologize for. I'd pluck my eyelashes out too. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not, like, the thing is, Ethan and Ian had like an existing relationship. I didn't. But at the end of the day, guys, don't worry. I'm cooking. Don't worry. People love to think that I'm ignoring everything happening. I'm not. I didn't know there's an update. I guess it just happened like 2 hours ago, which is after business hours for lawyers. But don't worry. It's honestly crazy. There's so many jobless, unshowered cowards coming in here trying to dunk on me. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. She's taking her business late. I am.
You think for someone who can't pay for anything, doesn't have money, and is always begging, then you think that if you could apologize and not say anything about Ethan for the amount of times that things go around your orbit, then you would be absolutely fine. But then you would be coming back begging people for money, and we all know she ain't cooking shit, as she can't even be bothered to do the bare minimum work. The only thing she is going to cook is her phone when she overheats it all for all the Big Macs that she's ordering. With that fundraising money that she's still getting, I've had to cut out a lot of dead air as she's not engaging with the stream, as she would rather be ordering food or playing games on her phone. But if you want to check out the full 12-minute video, then I'll link it in the description for you to check out.
Oh my God, bro. But yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, I'm very transparent with you guys. And if I genuinely had anything to worry about, or if I was worried, I would have expressed that to you.
I don't think you're being transparent at all. People have asked to see the breakdown on things or asked you where the money has gone, and you've not said anything at all about things. I would think that you would never be transparent because everyone thought things were going normally. And then we find out that you have been defaulted and taken the money was meant to go to you for the GoFundMe to legal expenses rather than you lying out there to cover your tracks, which you put in the GoFundMe. I think Denims is the only one who's actually getting somewhere and is doing fine with things. Like, I'm actually surprised on that one. You have a new guy doing it as well, Noah Sampson or something, and even he missed his date for the deadlines because people like Frogan and Noah are all about the money and they don't want to do anything. They just want their bank accounts full so that they can LARP around and think that they are these big people when they're not. If you go over the clips in this part of the stream, then Frogan doesn't really say much, and she would rather just text on her phone than being engaging. It just feels like any of the orbiters just want to do nothing and then get paid for it. What I don't get is, why don't you just tell people that you've already defaulted, but then you know that the GoFundMe money would just completely stop.
I'm very open, especially with shit like this. But just know that I'm cooking. Okay? Just know that mama's cooking. Is my tea. Yeah, scuba. And like Chef Rogan's cooking, yeah. I mean, I would hope to think that you guys don't think I'm stupid. And yeah, at the end of my mic, bro. I'm hoping that at the end of the day, you guys don't think I'm stupid, you know? And yeah.
You think that with all that money that Hassan pays you, then your equipment would be top notch and that you wouldn't have these problems. I thought she would use the funds from the GoFundMe to buy something pretty decent, like a brand new mic all the time, so things would be up to scratch. I mean, if this is her job, she should have emergency funds to actually buy stuff if she needs it. If you're being paid well by Hassan, then you should have a new mic by now, as it's a big part of what you need to do to create content. So either buy a new mic, buy a new cable, test out what's going on. Just fix your shit rather than just eating those Big Macs. You know, if you're going to buy a new mic, just get some cheeky insurance on it so you know that if this thing happens again, you could easily just get a new mic.
And one last thing on this, guys. This is the amount of commentary I did during the content nuke. The yellow is normal speed. Green is 1.5 speed, and blue is 1.75 speed. Okay. And if I remember correctly, I had the video paused 52% of the time, and the average length of unpaused playing was 23.3 seconds. And if Ethan said that my lawyer wasn't responsive, he's a fucking liar because he knows our lawyers have been talking. He knows our lawyers have been talking since the end of July of last year. Lawyers talking and official court docs filed are two different things. Yes. So exactly. Nobody knows what the fuck has been happening besides our lawyers. All filed court docs for the case are public. Exactly. So imagine how much we were talking in private is what I'm getting at. And at the end of the day, me personally, I don't understand why people stalk the docket. It's so crazy to me.
It feels like this is the most work that she's done for the entire whole lawsuit. But I don't know why Frogan is lying, because we can see the court documents. I can see the court documents if I wanted to go through all of them. We can see what's being said. And then if there has been any talking, then why have things gone to default? I feel like she doesn't want to admit that she's failed, as then she can't keep gaining money from people and getting them to depart with their hard-earned cash. If you don't know what's going on with your own lawsuit, then maybe, just maybe, you're not paying attention, as if it's going out there, then you would think you would know first. I think that you get emails and you don't actually read them unless they're from DoorDash or McDonald's, letting you know that something new is on the menu. People are generally invested in this because you're out here begging for money and they want to know what is going on. At the moment, all that money is just going to McDonald's or DoorDash, or probably both at the same time. Moving on to the actual documents and stuff, let's go have a look at them. Dear God, that is a lot of money for not actually doing the work and thinking that this would go away. That game of hide and seek that you played has actually cost you a fucking ton, a crap load.
Around one crap load. that much?
And yet, if you could just apologize and never speak about Ethan again, wouldn't that be the best thing rather than having to pay the potential of 150k? That's insane.
That much?
Your pride stronger than Vegeta's at the moment? Because dear God, I think it is. Even in the lawsuit, reading that Frogan set up a GoFundMe and didn't have any intention to use it is really fucking diabolical. Reading that Frogan chose to default is actually crazy, to be fair. And it just shows how fucking lazy she is. And no matter what she says, she chose this. And thus she can't keep saying the same thing over and over again as it's like, oh, it's still ongoing, which is not. We find out very soon what the judge is saying. So I don't know how she thinks that it's still going on when it's now gone to default, and we can actually see it in court documents. It's just so weird that you would do all of this chatting but then wouldn't follow through. And how can you not want to follow this through to the end? Like, actually, what the fuck? I do think that she is lazy. She doesn't care, and that she's thinking she is going to win this. If she does win, she is one of the luckiest people on the planet. Even tweets from other people have appeared in the case court documents and are saying what people have been going on about, and that's the money hasn't been used for what it has been intended for. I think that this will now be looked into, and we will have to see the receipts just so that we know where the money's gone properly. Everything you say, Frogan, about this is going to be recorded and put into these court documents because there are clips going around. You have been misleading people for the sake of gaining money, which isn't going to work out for you on this one. But yeah, this is absolutely wild that this got into the lawsuit. But what do you think about all of this? Let me know down below in the comments and let's discuss. And while you're down there, why not hit the like and subscribe button, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And with that, I'll leave it here.